We are live, unoriginal FC back in the cut, coming at you with a quick preview for United's game away to Brighton tomorrow. It's the early kickoff on a Saturday, 12:30. Listen, man, us United fans know about Brighton, man. Brighton have been one of them teams that just always smoke us, man. The last 2-3 seasons, they've been, I can't even say bogey team. We get smoked by a few teams, but they're one team that's really giving us a beating still. You know what I'm saying? We lost 3-1. I remember last season, I think it was 2 or 3 games into the season, and they just smoked us 3-0. Was it 3-1? And they were just walking about, just popping the ball about. You know, bro, Brighton are one of those teams that they just dominate us, man. You know what I'm saying? And so tomorrow's a real litmus test, man. Tomorrow, you're really going to see, yes, it's the second game of the season, but you still got to prove things. And tomorrow's really going to show us where United are at. You know, we've had all the talk this summer. The team has signed the players. They've signed 4 or 5 players. You know, the Ineos they've moved crazy, innit? They've moved different. You know, Ten Hag's giving it all the chat. Do you know what I mean? We've got Ruud van Nistelrooy in. We've had all the chat. Like, okay, let's see where we're at. Because Brighton is one of them teams that have always given us problems. And if we're to go there tomorrow, away, and put in a more than decent performance and come away with a win, that will show me a lot. I know it will show all you United fans a lot. It will show all of us a lot. It will show us, bro, like, okay, this team's actually made some improvements, bro. Right? Because Brighton are a team that dominate possession. And it's not just against us they dominate possession. They dominate possession against most teams in the league. They're just one of those teams that they're a good team on the ball. That's just their ethos. It's how they've been playing since they've had Graham Potter. They just play top football. They might not have the quality in the end to translate that more often than not, but, you know, they were in Europe last season. Like, they're a top team. Like, in terms of the way they play football, they're one of the better teams in the league. You know, it's tough for many teams to outpossess Brighton in a football match, right? And you look at their attacking options, you know, they've got the likes of Matoma, they've got the likes of Minte, Edingra. And I'm saying they've got some real potent attackers up there, you know. Got some real potent guys up there, some young guys with some brilliant speed, brilliant athleticism, and can dribble. And, you know, listen, I know Maguire feels like he should be starting this weekend. And honestly, he does deserve to start. You know, he does deserve to start because he was our best defender, one of our best players against Fulham last weekend. He was top last weekend. But I would go ahead and start De Ligt this weekend. I would. If I was Ten Hag, I'd go ahead and start De Ligt tomorrow. Because if we know one thing about Maguire can't deal with man like Minte. He can't deal with players like Minte and Edingra and Matoma. Like, them kind of players have always given Maguire issues. You know what I'm saying? Issues. Right? So, I would start De Ligt. I would defo start Xerxes tomorrow as well. I would. I think when you come on and produce like Xerxes producing, not even just him scoring the goal, but the way he just kept play ticking and the way he just held onto the ball and, you know, calmed our team down whenever he got the ball, relieved pressure off our team. Like, you know, I've got to give him the start. I would give him the start, especially when you got Liverpool coming up the game after Brighton. You want these guys, you know, catching their rhythm. You want these guys fit and firing for the big boys. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I do have a feeling that Ten Hag is going to stay with the 4 midfielders. I think he's going to keep the same line, well, not the exact same lineup, but more or less the same lineup for Brighton. I think he's going to play Bruno and Mount. I don't think he's going to start Xerxes. And I don't think he's going to start Amad Diallo. I don't think he's going to start Amad Diallo. And for me, not starting Amad Diallo would be a travesty because Garnacho to me is not effective enough as a starting player. He's just far more effective coming off the bench when guys are a bit more tired and he can exploit space. That's Garnacho. That's when you'll see Garnacho at his best. I don't think Garnacho is ready to start games because he just he doesn't hold on to the ball well enough for me. One, he gets caught napping a lot, which leads to a lot of counter attacks. Like we saw in the Fulham game, he came on, even though he came off the bench, he did some boneheaded stuff that nearly led to us conceding. So I wouldn't start Garnacho personally. I wouldn't start Garnacho, but I know how this manager is, and he clearly he obviously favoritizes Garnacho more. That's obvious when you see the amount of starts he gave Garnacho last season. And you look at the fact that Ahmad hasn't had a goal or assist yet in the league, right? And you feel as though for him to kind of keep his place, he's going to have to start firing soon. And Garnacho's come off the bench and got a goal, got an assist. He got a goal against Man City in the Community Shield, got an assist against Fulham. So it's like, it's giving an excuse for Ten Hag to do what he wants to do anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised to see Garnacho start. I'd be sad to see Garnacho start. Just because of how highly I rate Ahmad and how good I think he is. But, with the way Brighton play as well, Brighton are a team that press high. They have a very aggressive press. And so that means they can be got out on a counter-attack. So maybe that's also a part of Erik ten Hag's thinking. He's thinking, you know what, like, these lot are going to leave us space in behind if we beat their press. And listen, somebody like Garnacho running into all that space, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. Yeah, I think the more and more I think about it, the more and more I believe Garnacho is going to start. Right? But what I will say, it is going to be key for Manchester United to have a good start to the game. Regardless of who starts, right? It's going to be key, very key for Manchester United to have a good start to the game. I don't think they can afford to let the game get to the 70th, 80th minute and it's still 0-0. Because I don't know if they pull out the last minute winner. I don't know if they come away with 3 points. Not against this Brighton team. This Brighton team has a bit more quality on the ball than Fulham. They know what to do with the ball in attacking areas a bit better than Fulham, right? And they just and possession wise, they just know how to keep the ball, right? So United need to be compact, which is why I think they'll go with the 4-man midfield with Bruno and Mount essentially playing up top. I think Erik ten Hag, that's my reason for why Erik ten Hag will probably stick with that, because you want to keep the midfield compact. You don't want to allow Brighton too much space. You want to allow Brighton freedom on the ball, manipulating space in midfield. You don't want them doing that. You don't want Brighton having the ball for 20-minute spells, 10-minute spells. You don't want to do that because you're in trouble if you do that. So it's going to be interesting, man. I think for me, the key is United have to have a good start. They have to have a good start. Try and get that goal in the first half. Because the more you let this game linger at 0-0, the more problems you're going to deal with. And United also need to make sure that those things that we saw against Fulham with the midfield opening up, all those counter-attacks that we allowed Fulham, a lot of the same things that we saw from last season, we can't allow that to happen again this game. Not with that same sort of regularity. We can't allow that to happen because Brighton have more quality up front to punish us. And they will punish us. Right? So we need to cut that out. Compact the midfield. Be aggressive. Don't let them have 10-minute spells of good possession. No. Don't let them do that. Can't allow for that to happen. Right? United, if attacking wise they play like they did against Fulham, creating the chance that they did, good. Because that means that we'll have a chance to have a better start. Right? And we need to make those chances count. We need to be more clinical in front of goal. But it's going to be a good game tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a real test. And then obviously Liverpool the week after that. I mean, listen, our next 4-5 games are tough. We've got a tough start to the season, so it's going to be interesting, man. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to see what this team's made of. Listen, man, Brighton, we haven't had much joy against them the last few years, so here's to hoping, man. Here's to hoping we get a win tomorrow away from home. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Unreserved FC, over and out.